Okay, in this video, I'm gonna look into the relationship from Jennie and Jisoo from Blackpink, just to see, how they're doing, what's going on between them. I haven't done the reading yet, so IDK, what we're gonna get. With that being said, everything I say is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And with peace and love, and let's go. Jennie, Jisoo, okay, okay. Energy in between. That's kind of interesting. I want more before I talk. Oh, okay. Oh, weird. Weird. Okay, Jisoo's energy is bizarre. Let's start with Jennie. Jennie got the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position, which is like something stopped, but not like in a good way. Like something is like not going anymore. She also got the Sun card, which is illumination and happiness. And then Jisoo's energy, sometimes you can read this as like being stabbed in the back or betrayed. Sometimes it's just sort of like the ending of something. Oh, stopping and ending. But this is can sometimes, because it's a 10, it's just sort of like whatever story we were on, whatever we were doing, that's no longer. Like it's done for. This is like the final blow. And this is like getting over heartbreak or a betrayal of some sort. And then I want to go back to, because this card is really interesting because it's like Jennie's energy facing Jisoo, and it's like working at something, and it's sort of like Jisoo, oddly enough, feels kind of like her energy feels very mature, but it's very like how do I explain this? Like when you have a friend and you're pulling away from this friend because you don't like how they're living their life. And there's no hard feelings. It's just like we're on different pages, and it's just like all these little things, and you're like, I don't know if you really fit in my life anymore. With Jisoo, where she's sort of like, I just don't really care that much anymore. I don't want to try as hard anymore. I don't want to like fight to be in your life or have a relationship. It's not that they don't have a relationship. It's not that they're not like talking. It doesn't feel like animosity so far. It's more so like, I don't want to try hard with you anymore. I don't want to like call you and like you ignore my phone calls because you're busy with somebody else. That's kind of her energy. It's very mature, and it feels kind of like final, almost like this was a big grief or like back and forth Jisoo had to like wrestle with for some reason. But Jennie is sort of like it's giving kind of like, especially because she got the Knight of Pentacles, and then this card in the middle is sort of like, it's not that she doesn't understand where Jisoo is coming from, her energy. I don't really know if they've talked about this too, but it's sort of like you can just tell when someone is like different all of a sudden from how they used to be. I think Jisoo has matured in a way that they've just gone in different directions, I'll say. But for Jennie, it's like, I want to work at this relationship, but it's almost like she doesn't have the tools or the ability to. It's sort of like, I don't have the energy to be maybe the friend that you want me to be or something like that. I also feel like, I don't know if Jisoo's communicated this, but it's like Jennie's doing something that Jisoo doesn't like approve of or doesn't really like that lifestyle of, and I don't know what that means. It feels kind of like party related, if that makes sense, but I really don't know. For some reason, Jisoo looks at Jennie's lifestyle and is sort of like, I don't know if that's going to fit into what I'm trying to do in my life. But Jennie's energy, it feels very like disoriented, I guess is the best way to put it, and it's sort of like neither of them feel angry. Jisoo no longer feels sad, but I could tell that she felt sad. Jennie doesn't really like I feel like Jennie feels like dizzy. I don't know how to explain this. She feels dizzy. She's just sort of like, she doesn't have enough like groundedness in her energy to really 100% like hear or maybe understand what Jisoo is even like saying. But the thing is, I don't know if they've talked about this, but like Jennie just kind of sees Jisoo as like turning away and like doing her own thing and sort of having her own life. But Jennie's not also like actively pursuing Jisoo. This is sort of like wanting to work at the relationship, but it's like the wrong thing, and also it's like Pentacles and Pentacles are sort of like, the intention's there, but like the actions aren't landing, if that makes sense, Like she wants to, but it's like it's not the right thing, or it's not what Jisoo wants from you, or it's like, but Jennie's energy I feel so confused in. Not like I'm confused if I don't understand, but I feel literally like someone is like the room is kind of spinning. I hate it. Ugh. I don't know if Jennie's doing well. But the weird thing is like Jennie doesn't seem bothered. It's sort of like, sometimes when you're like maybe like dissociated or like really dizzy or just kind of in a haze, but you're not bothered by it, you're just kind of like vibing. That's Jennie's energy. She's not bothered. She just is sort of like, well, I guess Jisoo's over there, like but it's like, I don't know if Jennie also 100% understands like the gravity of like Jisoo's energy, because Jisoo's sort of like, it's done, like we're not going to be the same again. But it's like sadness, it's not anger. I don't feel anger even a little bit. Anyway, so these cards, Jennie got the Sun card, which is why it's like her energy doesn't feel, she just feels like she's vibing. That's the only thing I can like just not, her energy is not grounded, but it's not like in distress, it's not in pain or anything like that. Jisoo, it's like, this is like getting over grief, getting over heartbreak. So like I made a hard choice or something really hard happened to me in the past and we've moved on. Jisoo just feels very like sober and like mature and like just getting her life together. Like she's journaling, you know, she's doing Pilates. That's what Jisoo seems like. She's just like doing like normal like 30-year-old woman stuff, you know what I mean? Who are like homebodies. It's kind of like not to say Jennie's not doing normal 30-year-old woman stuff, but like Jisoo's very like, I'm just going about my business. Anyway, this is like a lack of unionship. It's also a lack of stability as well between them. I feel like Jisoo's tried to like warn Jennie of something or tell Jennie something, and Jennie doesn't want to hear it. I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to be like so heavy-handed because like this, I'm just reading pictures on cards. It feels somewhat related to like a lifestyle habit Jennie has that is like gonna turn into a problem according to Jisoo. That's kind of what it's giving. It could be like the people that Jennie is hanging out with, though. It could be it's something that Jennie's doing. I really strongly believe like Jisoo looks at her and is like, stop this, it's gonna turn into a problem, or it already has turned into a problem. IDK. Jisoo is like a responsible person, and I feel like she kind of gets labeled as a mother goose, but she's not really naggy. She's not like a nag. She'll just kind of like, if you're like talking or whatever, she'll just kind of like give you her opinion or like her advice, but she's not really heavy-handed. She's not very naggy. She's not like trying to like scold you or anything. And I feel like Jisoo has tried in the past to like, and I think Jisoo's kind of always been this way, where she's always just been someone who's very like contemplative and just kind of like does what she wants. Her energy is always very cool to me. I don't know. Anyway, but this is like happiness though. Jennie's just vibing, but very like ungrounded, just spinning around basically. They don't seem close, I'll be honest, but they don't seem like in conflict either. This is moving away. Justice, balancing as well, like justice will come, and the Chariot is like movement. That's interesting. They've kind of like I heard like the ship has sailed. I don't know when this all began. I've never read distinctly between Jennie and Jisoo before. I wish I had, because, you know, we could have seen the progression. But this seems like, I have no idea when this began, but they've been drifting apart for quite a while. Which I guess makes sense if you are someone who really closely follows Blackpink. I don't think they are often seen together that much, or really like, you know how like when you see like, at least on like the tour, you see like Lisa and Rose are always like clinging on to each other, and it seems sort of like Jennie and Jisoo are like next to each other a lot, but it's not like animosity, like they're very good co-workers, whatever. But it's sort of like they don't really like go to each other's stuff as much. When they talk, it's very like acquaintancy, like we used to have history but we don't anymore, but there's no like grief about like we used to be besties and we're no longer besties. It's just very like whatever. I didn't expect this. The energy's weird, like I don't know. Anyway, Jennie's energy, the Six of Swords in the reverse. I always have to count the numbers because I don't know it. Roman numerals. Jennie's energy is in the reverse position of the Six of Swords, which is like, it's similar to the Knight of Pentacles in the sense of like it's movement, but it's like the wrong direction, or it's like slowed down from what it should be. Or usually this card is like going to safer harbors. In the reverse position, it's just sort of like you're almost going into choppy water instead, and you think it's a good idea. I really feel like Jennie's doing something that's like unhealthy. I don't know. This is both what Jisoo thinks, but also her energy is giving like she's not grounded, she's not in alignment, she's not drinking enough water. Like there's something about her like doing something that's like not good for her, but it's like fun. Jisoo got the Justice card, which is literally like justice, like fairness coming to something, or like receiving, like if you were, because again, like when I get like this card I usually think of as heartbreak, and I think there is a level of that because I feel grief in Jisoo's energy, but it also feels like betrayal, especially because this is like being stabbed in the back, almost like Jennie did something that betrayed Jisoo. I don't know why I'm hesitant to say that though, because that is kind of how you would read it. I don't know if Jennie intentionally did it, is maybe why there's hesitation there, and it's sort of like, I don't know, but there's something about like betrayal and justice coming to Jisoo. And I guess because we pulled a relationship between these two, it would have to do with something Jennie did. I can't parse that apart entirely. But anyway, good news for Jisoo is that justice is coming for her. I can't tell in what way. Maybe that'll come later in the reading. The Chariot is like movement, moving forward, which is between the two of them is sort of like, especially because you have these two like animals or something, and like one is black and one is white, which is opposites, and it's sort of like we're literally going in opposite directions and we're moving away from one another. You know what I mean? Their friendship, I don't think will ever be the same. I really don't think, unless like something like if they have like a big tower moment, for example, that brought them closely together, they're just like on two different paths, and it's sort of like Jisoo's like, I don't know why I would have you, I have like other people I talk to, and Jennie, I feel like Jennie has a lot of like friends. I don't know how quality those friends are, or like how permanent they are. The other thing is like I think their personalities are very different. not to like, they don't clash because their personalities are different, but what they value, what they're interested in is very different. So it's kind of like when they talk, they only have so many subjects that like, you know, they can like talk about before it's like I don't care that much, you know what I mean? Jennie, the moon in the reverse position, that can be the revealing of a secret or something coming to light, especially because she got the sun card, which again is something coming to light. I don't know, it might be something coming to light about what she's up to, but it doesn't seem in relationship to Jisoo, whatever it is. Jisoo got the Lovers card. That can be a good sign. Two things coming together, unionship, and then the Two of Pentacles. But that seems romantic. I don't typically read the Lovers as romantic, but that feels romantic for some reason. Maybe we'll get like a leak about who Jisoo is dating or something like that, or has dated in the past. I don't know. Two of Pentacles, that's like balancing the ebbs and flows of life. What's that mean? Queen of Wands, that can be Jennie herself, but it can also be a different member. It doesn't really feel like Jennie, to be honest. Queen of Wands, Page of Swords in the reverse position, and the King of Pentacles. I feel like Jennie is working on new music, and we know Jisoo is. Again, people didn't like this, but I feel like Jisoo, the things, I don't really feel like, I think Jisoo is in the midst of working on whatever music. She might be nearing completion. I think she's also been working on this for a while, but I think both of them are working on music. It seems like, I don't know if, I really hope they're not going to really release music around the same time, because I hated that last time. I was like, this is very competitive. This feels very weird. Whatever it is, Jisoo feels like blocked creatively for some reason, and has felt blocked creatively for some reason. I don't know why, but it's not necessarily like she has like writer's block as in she's not doing anything. It's more like whatever she makes, she's like, this isn't good enough, this, people aren't gonna like this. I think this is newer for Jisoo as well, where she has like a level of self-doubt because she's starting to think about how other people are going to perceive her art. And I think she's always had that, maybe about how she looks, where she's like very aware of how other people perceive how she looks. But I think her first releases were stuff that like, this is what I like and my fans are gonna like this. And then when she read maybe reviews from like critics or something, or maybe fans herself, she was like, I want to do more. I also feel like she's working with, she had the collaboration with Zayn, but I feel like she's working with other people in the industry as well. But it seems, I think she will have other collabs. IDK if she's coming out with an album or just like a mini album or whatever. I see her working with producers though, and like songwriters and stuff, and trying to like work more on her craft in that way, for one reason or another. Like she's trying to level up, but I see her like frustrated, almost like this isn't good enough. She's very much like doubting her work. Even if it is like a good song, it's almost like this is new for Jisoo, where she's like, I don't know if it is though. Very like perfectionisty, but like not quite that. Anyway, Jennie is also working on music or some sort of artistic project, or something like that. Jennie feels very good about it. She's like, this is wonderful. Like, I feel great. This feels, I get so annoying, but this feels like YG. This can be literally like, typically a man, but just masculine energy, powerful man, usually like boss type, especially when it has to do with money. But this feels like YG. I don't know why though, but it's sort of like, or sometimes it can also just be the energy signature of like power and money. I kind of want more information before I talk. Oh, okay. I really hope they're not going to release music around the same time. I don't know, for some reason, I get that impression. I don't think it'll be dropped, like, it'll be, you know how, like, this is very, like, chronically online, but, like, you know how, like, Sabrina Carpenter dropped, like, an album, and then there was, like, a month that passed, and then Taylor Swift announced that she was going to release an album? There's something like that, I feel like that might happen, where it's not, like, they weren't released really that close together, but it was sort of, like, it's almost like one... You should have let like Sabrina maybe have a little bit more time to breathe with like her album before you maybe announce yours. There's something about that where it's not like so significant overlap that people are like, oh, I can't believe she announced her album because this other girl did. It's not that, but it's sort of like they're released close enough together that like they're going to be compared closely because it's still like on the minds of other people, if that makes sense. At least that's the vibe it's giving. I don't know why. That might not be the case, maybe, but it just feels like I've dropped my album, a month passes, you're going to announce that you're releasing an album. There's something about that. But it might not be Jennie, although it feels like it's between those two. It also doesn't feel competitive. It's more just like, that's going to be its own like moment. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is like camaraderie. Jennie's energy is so interesting because she just feels like very... relaxed and mellow and just like whatever. Jisoo, this is like no longer wanting to fight. Jisoo is locked in. She's so focused. All I see her doing is like eating fruits and vegetables, drinking water, going to the gym, and like working on her craft. That's what I see Jisoo doing. I see her very locked in, very mature. She's really, it's not that she's not having fun, she's just focused. You know what I mean? When you get in like moments like that in your life, she's absolutely working on something, her album, maybe something else, IDK. This is the Five of Wands, which is like no longer fighting. She just doesn't have time for like both pettiness, but she doesn't really have time for like immaturity anymore. She like outgrew maybe like party culture, which I think Jennie is still kind of in, and I think that's kind of what Jisoo doesn't. I've been trying to dance around that, but Jisoo just doesn't really like the party atmosphere of everything anymore. This is like community. I feel like Jennie low-key kind of I'm so nervous. People get mad at me, it's whatever. I feel like Jennie may or may not struggle with some sort of substance. In what way? I don't know. I think she's really trying to adopt a more artistic lifestyle. You know, like musicians or whatever. Like Harry Styles before he started to run marathons, and he was just kind of like, he kind of like had like a party lifestyle to him where he was all over the place, and like he would go to parties and like he was like drinking and whatever. That's kind of what Jennie is doing. I think because in part she enjoys this right now, even if I don't really feel like it's good for her. Whatever, it's not my life. But also it's because like she feels like that's what she should be doing to get more inspiration or something. It's very weird. Their processes are very different for how they're going about their new music. I'm kind of interested to hear what they're going to come out with. Jennie feels very confident though in what she's making. Like she's liking it. Like I see her very strongly in flow with whatever she's doing. Jisoo has pressure on her that she's kind of put on herself, but also I feel like people around her have put pressure on her inadvertently. They didn't mean to. But she's working very hard at whatever it is she's creating. More so than her last album. I think her last album she was just trying to make stuff she was interested in. Now she's like, what's the market saying? What are people saying? What do people like? She wants this to be bigger and better. This is also a moon though, and it's the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups in the reverse position, which is like walking, but it's like Jisoo's energy walking towards Jennie. Oh, that's not true though. It's because this is also like drinks sometimes. I'm really focused on like alcohol being like a bit of an issue for someone here. I don't know. I don't want to make broad sweeping claims like that. It's really not my business. I hope everyone is happy and healthy. But it's I feel like something might leak about Jennie. It seems kind of far away. It doesn't seem like it's close from now, but there's going to be maybe a blind item or like evidence or like a video or something. I see something leaking about Jennie. It won't be like a big drama, but it'll like, if you're a fan, it'll clue you in more into like, oh, okay, like that connects strongly to like other things we've been suspecting, you know what I mean? King of Cups again. And then this is like burdened and struggling. Jisoo will drop her album soon enough. I think she'll feel satisfied with it. I mean, this video isn't really about Jisoo, but I think she'll feel satisfied with whatever she makes. I think her struggles that she's experiencing in making her album will pay off for her. I think it'll at the very least outperform what she made last time. And I feel like there might be a song that like catches on, maybe like through TikTok or something. I don't know if it'll be like a big explosion, mostly because I haven't pulled cards on it. But I feel like whatever, it's like her effort will pay off for her. Like she'll feel satisfied with how much she's struggling. Being bound up, I just feel like there's like addiction low-key somewhere here. Well, okay, that's a big word. I don't mean to say addiction. I feel like somebody maybe is a little bit leaning heavily on something that is going to turn into a bigger problem if they don't get it under control. And that, I think that's low-key like what Jisoo is saying too. IDK. I really struggle to like, because I don't want to make people look bad, and it is their private business. Whatever. These two are not, we got really no solid friend cards. We got no solid like, they're together, like they like each other. We got none of that. They're just two separate people. I don't know. They really moved on from one another. There's no animosity. They still work together. They still see each other. It's still like, oh my god, like hi when I see you. But it's like, we're not talking that much. We're not texting that much. I'm not going to call you. You're not the first person to call if something good happens. Like, they really, it's hard to wrap my mind around as a fan, you know, because it's like they're Blackpink, like the four of them. But that's really not how it's shaping up to be. These two have no animosity. They just like, you know, on stage they'll like hug each other, but there's no like strong sense of friendship even. It's just like, yeah, like I care about you because you're a person. All right, well, not bad but not good, isn't it? Peace and love.